Hello Leo, and welcome to my channel Inspiring Life Changes. Welcome back to those of you who've been here before, and welcome to those of you who have come across to find out what it's all about. My name is Colette. My channel is Inspiring Life Changes, and I am an intuitive tarot reader of over 30 years experience. Sorry about that, something just turned up on my phone, which I had to get rid of. So yes, over 30 years experience. This reading today is for Leos who are Sun, Moon, Venus, Rising and Cusp Leos. And if you don't know where those placements are, there will be a free natal link in the description box down below. It is a general read, which means that it's not going to resonate with all you Leos out there. But hopefully it will resonate with some of you. Hopefully you'll find something within the general message that you can take. And if you do, please could you like up my videos as well, because that really helps big time. So I'm just going to get straight into the actual reading itself and say that you are starting your reading here, Leo, with this card of the Five of Water. Five of Water, a card of despair, a card of feeling like everything is too much, it's all too overwhelming. If you can see her face here, her hand is up on her head. And these 5 pearls down here represent the 5 cups that you usually see in most tarot decks. And interestingly, 3 of those pearls are no longer attached to that ribbon. And so there are 3 pearls loose and there are 2 pearls that are still attached, which kind of depicts the normal story of the 5 of Cups, of 3 cups being where the focus of attention is being put. The 2 cups are still there, but the attention isn't being, or the 2 cups aren't being recognized. So normally it will be seen as 3 cups that have spilt over, and 2 cups are still standing. But for me, with this card as well, there is this feeling of sinking into your emotions, going down into the depths, because it is water. It is all about the subconscious realm. It's all about having to kind of really look at your own actions here as well, and maybe not wanting to, although it is in the upright position. So Leo, you could kind of be very aware of this energy. I have forgotten to say, and I always do, and I knew there was something else I needed to say. I will get used to this. There is 3 sets of 3 cards here. So the first 3 sets are the past, the middle 3 are your present, and the last 3 are your future. So your past is creating your present, which is creating your future. But that doesn't necessarily mean that it's kind of boom, boom, boom. It doesn't mean that it's just all kind of like from this to this to this. It kind of says as well that it can be, your past can be from your childhood, it can be from a few years back, it can be recent past. But it's an energy that is now kind of in play, shall we say, and it's creating the present that you are in. So coming from this 5 of Water here, there is also this heart-shaped shell around her here as well, which I kind of recognise or see as being this situation that has got something to do with the heart. Often because it's emotions, it depicts a situation that has caused some kind of heartbreak or heart response, emotional response to something. It doesn't have to be a relationship. It can be a friendship, it could be a business situation, it could be a family situation, but it's a situation that has caused in the past a lot of overwhelming sadness and dragged you down into the very depths of your emotional feelings here. And the card that comes out after the 5 of water is the 9 of fire in reverse. For me, this is like the mini manifestation card. It's like the minor card for manifestation. And it feels here as though whatever was being created in this situation suddenly kind of came to a halt. It kind of stopped. You no longer wanted to put your energy into this, I feel. Leo, it feels like something just kind of, with this card here as well, it just feels as though something just emotionally created this abrupt halt to whatever was being created on an energetic level here. And you have the 2 of earth in reverse here, which for me is the card of the past and the future, kind of trying to move out of the past and into the future here. Trying to decide what you're going to take with you as well. What is it that is valuable to you? What's going to work for you in your future? But because it's in reverse, it also talks about kind of being pulled back into the past, not being able to completely free yourself from a situation here, having to maybe balance things up within yourself, juggle some energies here. Kind of seeing where you want to go, but not necessarily knowing how to take the steps to get there as well. Could have also been a financial situation, because Earth does talk about the material realm, the physical plane, our environment, our financial situation. It could have been a time of having to balance and struggle, maybe having to be very careful financially. Because we also have the card that's coming out after this one, which is the present energy, as the 6 of earth. And interestingly for me today, I was really very drawn to this eye on this stag. And also the fact that the stag is just kind of this disembodied. There's no body there around this stag. It's literally just his head and these pentacles hanging off. They're actually tricycles as well, which is interesting. But what I was aware of was that this side all has this kind of glowing energy around it. I don't know if you can see it very well here, but it's all kind of very, it's got these rays coming off of them. Whereas these ones over on this side don't have that. And it's very similar to me to this card here as well. Whereas this coin here that she's holding up has lots of very obvious kind of rays, and it's kind of in the light. Whereas this one down here is not so apparent. But it also feels today as though this could also represent somebody who's in your life that you may have, or you may even now still be in a situation possibly of where you've had to borrow, where you've had to accept money from somebody or help from somebody or something of value from somebody. Because it does feel very separate. There feels like there's a separateness between these on this side and the 3 on the other side. So one side is very much your energy, Leo, and what you're kind of working on or working towards, which is balance, reciprocity, this sense of give and take. But it does feel like there's 2 separate energies within this card today, as though it's a very kind of distinct line down the middle. So again, it could have something to do with finance. It could have something to do with having to maybe have borrowed to keep yourself afloat, especially at this time, Leo, this difficult time that we're all living through at this moment. So you may have put yourself into a situation where you're having to it's like the eye is very kind of aware of what's going on around it, it feels like to me. And it's quite a kind looking eye, but it does kind of feel as though it's very much kind of watching a situation. Something's watching you, or the energy, and I feel as though it's this person on the other side that is kind of keeping an eye on things, maybe to do with finance, or maybe somebody's just keeping an eye out for you about something here. Because at the center of your reading here, Leo, we have the Queen of Water, and she is in reverse. And today for me, she's coming over very much as being in this energy of kind of closing down. Water energy is the energy of Cancer, Scorpio and Pisces. And she's literally kind of in this subconscious realm. It's like she's gone into this other world. It is in reverse. And it's at the heart of your reading as well. So for me, the heart of the reading is the energy that kind of goes in and comes out. And I'm feeling as though it's kind of connected to this energy here as well, of something that's taken you very much down into the depths of your own feeling space, your own emotional world that maybe, Leo, you were not so inclined to go into, because your energy is much more this creative, dynamic, let's do it, let's make something happen type of energy. But it almost feels as though you've kind of found yourself in this place of having to look within, having to really take stock maybe as well, of having to retreat somehow, having to hold your energy back, it feels like as well, kind of holding your energy back here. And this is your present energy. And we have the 8 of Air straight after this energy here, which for me kind of feels like coming out of this dream world, or this slumbering world, or this sense of it's just this sense of really going deep within yourself, maybe to resolve an issue, maybe looking deeply at yourself, at your feeling world, at whatever it was that caused this feeling of sorrow and despair. But with the 8 of Air here, it feels to me as though it's a situation of coming out of this dream world, of this slumber, and kind of realising that you've, in a way, maybe alienated yourself or insulated yourself from something. It feels like this cloud is like, it feels like it's a cushion. It feels like it's kind of cushioning something, keeping you safe. There's like a security here. But at the same time, for me today, these feathers came through as messages, almost like SOSs that you're kind of throwing out, Leo. This sense of kind of finding yourself alone up here and isolated in your own little world, which you have been doing. You've been isolating. That's what that energy, I feel, is actually isolating yourself in your own world, shutting out everything else. Shutting the rest of the world out in your environment even. and definitely not letting anybody into your emotional world. Very much keeping yourself to yourself here. Not expressing your feelings. But now you're in this place of feeling today for me it feels like you're wanting to maybe communicate. Feathers for me often, and it's air energy as well, so it is about the mind, it is the logical thinking thought realm, the intelligence. So maybe it's about whatever it was that this has taught you, that you're now wanting to express it, because it's coming through for me as these feathers being, like I was saying, like SOSs, like messages being thrown out there, and you wanting answers, you wanting to know, or wanting a response, whether that's from one person in particular or whether that's from a group of people. And it does feel like it could be from a group of people, because you have the 7 of air straight after the 8. And this is in your future energy, Leo. And the 7 of air here for me is a sense of, especially when it's in reverse, of feeling as though it's kind of similar to a feeling of betrayal for me when it's in reverse. It can be to do with self-deceit, because she does look like she's trying to be a bird. She looks like she's trying to fit in with all these birds here, but she doesn't. She can't, because she's a human and they are birds. Or she could even be an angel, but there is just a sense that even though she's got wings and she has a beak type nose here, which she's kind of put on with this mask, she can't fool herself. And that's kind of how it's feeling for me today. It's kind of saying you can't fool yourself here, Leo. No matter how much you might try, with this 8 of air as well. These messages, it feels like these are messages that are being sent out, maybe to 7 people even. But it does feel like a group. Possibly family. It could be family, it could be friends. But you still don't feel as though you're fitting in. You still don't feel as though you're being accepted. That's what I'm feeling today. And that the more you try to fit in, the more you try to make that happen, the more kind of outside of everything you feel. And it's bringing you, or it will be bringing you, into this place of discontentment, because the 10 of water upside down talks of a state of things not flowing easily. Like when it's up this way, it's kind of everything flows, the emotions are flowing, everything's happy, contentment. But for me, when it's upside down, when it's in reverse, it's like there's something. And I also feel, again, there's this kind of eye in his belly here. It kind of feels like this eye here. It's funny because I've only just kind of spotted that eye. Not that I haven't seen it before, but it didn't really jump out at me when I was laying the cards out until now. This eye. So maybe you do feel as though there is something that somebody's kind of watching you or keeping an eye on you, Leo. Because there's there's just this feeling of not, today for me, with this 7 of air and the 10 of water straight after, it just feels like things aren't feeling right for you. You're not feeling content. You're not feeling as though you're where you want to be, doing what you want to do, with the people that you want to be with, even. So, the last card that we have here for you, Leo, at this time is the Hermit energy. And the Hermit energy is upright. And it talks about a time of you wanting to discover more. You want to know more. You want to understand things on a deeper level. And maybe it has got something to do with this Queen of Water energy here as well. Maybe you're also feeling as though you're having to close the door on something here as well, with these cards of this card of possible deception, either self-deception or somebody else deceiving you here. Maybe, Leo, you're feeling it's time now to shut the door on something that hasn't given you the happiness that you were hoping for. That is just causing you more grief than it is contentment, and you're wanting to discover more. I just keep getting this idea or this feeling, this kind of discover more is what's coming through here for me, because the Hermit is about questioning on a deeper level. It's about asking the bigger questions of life. And you got all these keys above this door here as well. And you can see his face is kind of half in and half out. But I feel as though it's kind of you closing off to something. Shutting the door on something, somebody, a group of people, a situation, because you need to have more answers. You need to know more about something. You aren't happy about something. You're in a place of discontentment, I'm feeling, with this energy here. And it's a choice as well, because it's up the right way, the Hermit energy. If it was in reverse, I would say that it was more a situation where you feel as though you're being forced into something. But because it's up the right way, this is like a decision that you are going to make, or you are making for yourself here. Okay, so over the top of the 7 of water, we have the 7 of wands, which is an energy of having to stand up for yourself. It's an energy of a feeling as though you are being forced to kind of stand up for yourself, or stand up for your beliefs about something, your ideas on something. Again, it's this group energy, which I'm feeling down here as well, this group energy. They're both 7s, and they both kind of have representation of groups of people. So maybe it was a situation where you felt you had to kind of keep arguing about something, or yeah, it's creative. It's that fiery energy as well. It's that energy of kind of wanting to be recognized. But it's with the 5 of water, so it just feels as though you kind of gave up in the end, is kind of how I'm seeing it. It's kind of, you kept trying to put your point of view across, or your belief, or try to express how you feel, and it feels very much as though it was you against a lot of different people here, Leo, that you were trying to make a stand about something, but you kind of finally in the end just gave up because it just became too much, too overwhelming, too overpowering. And it does feel like a family situation, or possibly a work situation, friendship situation. But again, it's that situation. It is something that involves more than just you and one other person. It definitely feels like a group of people. And maybe that's what that 8 of Air is about there as well. These kind of messages that I was talking about. If you're feeling like you need to send out here. Okay, so we have the 10, the Wheel of Fortune, should I say, upright, which is good because this talks about you moving on. And you have the Sun of Swords in reverse as well. So I don't think it was an easy thing to do. I don't think it was an easy situation, because whatever was happening came to an abrupt halt, I feel. But the Wheel of Fortune is kind of saying that it was time. It was time for that to happen. It was time for you to move onto something else, to move forward. But the Sun of Swords here, which can be an energy of again, it's this sense of communication. I don't feel as though there was a lot of communication here. I don't feel as though there was... It feels as though you felt as though you weren't being heard anyway. There was no point, even though you tried and tried and tried and tried. It was like the Wheel of Fortune kind of shifted, your perspective maybe shifted. The right time, everything kind of aligned up in the right way for you to move forward with something. And it feels like it was just you moving forward with your life here. But the Sun of Swords, there's also a sense of somehow feeling a sense of guilt, maybe, a sense of wanting to do something in the right way, communicate something in the right way, but maybe it just wasn't happening. You just like I was saying, it feels like it just wasn't, you just weren't being heard. I'm just looking at all these flowers that are lying on the floor here as well. again, it looks like interesting because there's a dead bird in his hand as well. And he's got feathers in his cap. It could be, because it is up in reverse, it could be that you walked away from, his eye is on this treasure chest as well. So it could be for some of you that you've walked away from a family situation of being like your legacy, having to let go of kind of a legacy, a family fortune maybe, wealth, an easy lifestyle, because all those roses again on the floor, all those flowers for me are depicting this same energy, this kind of 7 energy of this kind of something that is being dropped here, something that is no longer growing for you, something that you kind of just had to let it go. And with this 2 of earth here, as I was saying, it's kind of walking into the future, but kind of still being pulled back by the past. And there could be, like I was saying, also a sense of guilt here. Even though you kind of know on some level that it was the right thing, Leo, and that you really didn't have any choice. It almost feels like those flowers are kind of like a mourning in a way. Like they're discarded, but there's something quite kind of sad about it. It feels like it wasn't an easy decision. Wow, okay, so we have the Ace of Cups, we have the Ace of Wands, which kind of feels like this energy here, these 2 pentacles being represented by the Ace of Wands and the Ace of Cups. So one, although they're both in reverse, it kind of, for me, this is the Ace of Cups energy of you leaving your past, of the kind of unhappiness here. But also because it's something familiar, it's something that has had some sentimental value to you, shall we say. There's a kind of sense of wanting to dive into that energy, but at the same time feeling like you need to move forward. And that's how this energy is feeling for me today as well. This is the moving forward energy. This is into the future. This is the new coming out of the shell kind of energy here, of you bursting free from something. But we also have the 5 of discs here as well. All that energy is in reverse as well. But the 5 of discs has come out up the right way. And for me, this 5 of discs is kind of you working on yourself here. This dough that she's kneading here, it's almost like this is you being kneaded, remolded, created in a way. So how I'm seeing it is, this is your past situation with, I think, family, possibly work situation, but something that you're no longer emotionally as connected to, but still struggling, or you were, to let it go. Whereas this energy here is you moving into this freedom, this kind of dynamic sense. This is very Leo energy, in fact, very fiery, very expressive, very, this is me. It's like a birth, like a rebirth energy, like a creative outburst. And that's kind of what I'm seeing in between. In the middle is you kind of making this situation, if you like, making it happen. And we have the 10 of discs over the top of the 6 of earth. In reverse. So there has been a completion here. Something has come full circle. Something has come to an end. 10 of discs is about, again, the material realm. It's about being successful. It's about reaching a conclusion of satisfaction, something you've put your time, your energy and your effort into in the physical world, creating something physically, something that's going to sustain you. But unfortunately, with it being in reverse here, it's kind of saying that you didn't fully, I feel you didn't fully get the benefits here, or reap the rewards of something. And it's over this 6 of earth, which is interesting because again I get this feeling of this eye, of something that's maybe something that's supposed to have been yours, but you weren't able to claim it. Because also with this sun here, of having to walk away from something that's valuable, something that obviously financially, because this is a chest that's kind of full of goodies. But I feel as though it was a situation of leaving something. You have this 6 of earth and the 10 of discs. So they're both earth energy. So they're both about the physical realm. They're both about your physical well-being and how you create your physical well-being. But I am feeling the sense of being shut out. Maybe somebody has been helping you out here, Leo, within a family situation or a work situation. And we also have the crone that has come out here for you as well, over the top of this queen. And the crone is again this hermit energy. So it does feel as though there has been this period of time where you've had to withdraw your energy. You've had to go within. You've had to kind of ask yourself some deeper questions here, which is what this Queen of Water has been doing. Withholding, emotionally withdrawing herself. Very much so with the crone energy as well. So this could have been a situation that has gone on for quite some time. And retreating. It feels like a retreat over something. It feels like really kind of withdrawing all your energy, kind of pulling everything in to really, like I was saying, shutting out the world, kind of just no emotional connection with anything, just wanting to just literally just be left alone in your own space, in your own head, in your own emotional world. Leo, trying to make sense of things, trying to make it all understandable for you. And there is a crossroads here as well, which I've never really seen before. It looks like there's this kind of puppet sitting on this crossroads. This could also be how you've been feeling, as though you are at a crossroads in your life and that you do need to kind of make decisions here, but you can't make decisions without kind of really going within yourself, because it feels like these are big life-changing situations here as well. And you have the Queen of Cups come out again, but this time in reverse over the top of the Eight of Air. So it feels like this energy is just kind of carrying on here. It's just, again, it's in reverse actually. That's twice. Twice you've got the same energy here in reverse. So it's like this continuation of that energy of being withdrawn, and yet at the same time with the Eight of Air energy here. This feeling of being kind of trapped up above everything else, or looking down on everything else and kind of insulating yourself from everything else. And yet at the same time trying to, or wanting to maybe, be involved, sending out these messages. Which I do again feel has something to do with this group situation, this family situation. Maybe you've had to express from a really deep emotional place exactly how you're feeling here. Maybe these are feathers representing letters or communication, because I often see feathers as being like the pen, like the quill, like writing the message. It could also be texts, of course, modern day, emails. But it feels like something that you've been thinking about very deeply, very, very deeply. You haven't rushed into this, I don't think. I think this has been something that has taken its time. Particularly with the crone energy here. You've taken your time to come to this decision to express your true feelings about what has happened, how it happened, why it happened. And it's like you've really had to get to the core of it for yourself, Leo, before you've been able to express this to anybody else. Because over the top of the Seven of Air here, we have the Ten of Swords, which is good because it says that you're coming to, again, a completion with something. But because it's upright, you're feeling it's like you are feeling more in control of it rather than it being in control of you. It hasn't been an easy journey though. It definitely has not been an easy journey, because this is the 7 and this is the 10, and they're both air, they're both swords energy. So it has not been easy. But you are getting to a place now where you're feeling like you can let that go. Let it go. Also, I feel that whatever your kind of communication here is, it's almost like you feel as though you're jumping in the deep end here as well. Whatever it is that you're saying, it's like jumping in the deep end. You're just going to go for it, is what I'm feeling. And consequences kind of be damned in a way. Because we also have the 6 of Wands here as well. in reverse, it's kind of saying that the victory is not going to be obvious or apparent, because it does talk about a sense of victory here. But I also feel a sense of empowerment. Even though it's in reverse, there is still an empowerment here. You're still kind of feeling that you're doing the right thing, even if it's difficult, even if it's not something that you're particularly happy about having to do as well, which could also be where this Ten of Water is coming in here. You're not particularly happy about doing this, but it does feel as though you've got to that point where you're kind of going round and round, or you're fired up. It's like the energy's kind of fired up. It's like it's the right time. You're really kind of, it just feels charged up and ready for whatever's going to come back, even though it may not be the answers that you're looking for or hoping for or seeking, or that it's going to change anything even. Because we also have the Nine of Wands in reverse over the top of this Ten of Water. And it's saying for me that there could still be this struggle, this inner struggle, because it is, all of this is kind of like on the outskirts or on the outside, and you're kind of trying to find your sense of balance within it all, within the centre, finding your centre, your purpose, your meaning, your place in it all. With this Ten of Water here as well, trying to find your happiness and not for everybody else. Again, each of these wands kind of represents a group or a situation of you kind of having to protect yourself as well, is how it's feeling. Of you protecting yourself. Each of these is kind of a protection here. And there's two snakes on either side as well. And a snake can be symbolic of some, like a snake in the grass, of something being sneaky, or it can also talk about shedding of the skin as well. It could be what this is to do with, the shedding of the snake skin. Again, like a rebirth. Like a sense of your own empowerment is really what I'm feeling here, particularly with this card. Even though I say it is in reverse, it's still kind of saying that it is a kind of, it's a victory, but it's not necessarily apparent to you, or it's not obvious. It's not like a victory that you're feeling, oh yeah, you know, really want to celebrate that. It's not kind of one of those victories. It's more of a victory of like, okay, I've achieved that. Not quite what I was expecting, not quite what I was hoping for, but I have done it nonetheless. Now that's interesting, because we've got the Two of Discs here, which we also have up here. Both times they're in reverse. So you're still kind of with this Hermit energy, which is where this has come out, Leo. It's kind of saying to me that you're still kind of caught in between, which is where that face is as well. It's kind of half in and half out of that door. So you're still kind of caught in between the two, like the past and the future, the two worlds. And there is this snake energy here as well. And again, there's kind of this sense of these eyes. I don't know whether you feel as though you're being watched, Leo, but these eyes are coming through for me today. Eyes on his belly. Eye on the Buddha's belly there. The eye on this stag, which before has never really stood out for me, and also the snake's eyes down here as well. But this snake feels as though it's a protection, again similar to this energy here of something that is kind of protecting you, keeping you safe. But it could also have something to do with the shedding of the skin here as well, as I was saying with this card and this energy. Shedding that snake skin. If you see there's two curled snakes there. But again, it is in reverse. So you are still in a situation of questioning, I feel, Leo. After you go through all of this, you're still kind of questioning what it's all about. What does your future hold? There is also a sense of nurturing yourself here as well, with the Two of Pentacles. Maybe that's also why you're going to retreat into this energy of the Hermit again, is to nurture your own needs here. Because I do feel that you are once again kind of in that energy of shutting out the world, trying to keep things balanced. Again, that situation of deciding what you're taking with you from your past into your future energy. And we also have the Daughter of Swords here. She is in reverse, but there is this sense here of this warrior-S type. Again, it doesn't have to be male or female, it just is the energy. And it feels like a lot of like mind games is how I'm seeing this coming through. Of mind games being played on you, and you kind of having to bring out that warrior energy. And I'm saying mind games because a lot of it looks like fantasy as well. If you turn it up the right way, you can see that she's kind of battling with this kind of winged or wind horse here. And there's a lot of wind around the whole situation. Maybe having to protect what's hers as well. But it's in reverse. So it feels as though it's kind of energy that's being aimed at you, and it does feel like mind games. So let's see if there's anything else that wants to come out for you here. Yep, we have the Priestess of Discs as well. The Queen of Earth. And there is quite a lot of earth energy in this reading. Earth and fire seem to be, and I suppose a lot of water. In fact, there seems to be quite a lot of all the different energies here that are at play. But this is upright. Priestess of Discs. Queen of Earth. Very balanced. Very confident. And I feel as though this is your energy of taking care of yourself, which is what I was feeling with this energy here, that it's time to nourish you, it's time to look after you, time for the mind games to stop, time to stop focusing on your, possibly even the fears here as well, the potential worries of what could happen, how, you know, it's like anything is possible if you think about all the negative side of things, because this is in reverse as well, so it is a kind of negative energy in that sense of it being in reverse. And so it could be a warning here for you as well, Leo, to saying, you know, don't focus your attention on things that aren't even actually happening. Don't focus on the possibility of all the negative possibilities, shall we say. When in fact, you'll be much better if you focus on your own needs here. Bring your attention into your own body and what you need to nurture yourself and take care of yourself here. Is much more important, much more relevant. Because it's a very lush and green card as well, so it does talk about nurturing, it does talk about kind of building up. It also feels like building up your strength, your inner strength, your vitality, your vital nature. Maybe being in nature, Leo, as well. Maybe that's something that will also help you here, is taking time to be in nature, to connect with it. So I'm going to leave that part of the reading there for you and very quickly just pull you a Ask and It Is Given card by Abraham Hicks, Esther Hicks and Jerry Hicks. Abraham Hicks is an energy that is channeled by Esther Hicks. If you don't know who Abraham Hicks is, you could always go and look him up or them up. There is a lot of information out there on YouTube and online as well. So you have, I am attracting its vibrational essence. And that's what this card is saying for me as well here, which is interesting because it's kind of, I'm seeing a very similar kind of wind, kind of whirling kind of energy here, as in here as well. And Abraham does talk about being in the vortex. If you've not heard of this before, being in the vortex is kind of being in the zone of attracting what you want, and we are always in that zone. But if we're focusing on the negative of kind of things that aren't even real, we can bring them into our reality and make them come into our world and actually manifest the opposite of what we're actually wanting or hoping for. So the card itself says you can allow it or not, but the basis of your world is well-being, which is interesting because this is what I was just saying about this card here. The law of attraction says that which is like unto itself is drawn, and so the essence of whatever you give your attention to is unfolding in your experience. Therefore, there is nothing that you cannot be, do, or have. This is law. So I will just show you the message here. This is the law of attraction. What you put your focus on is what you will see around you. So that's what I think this is saying here, is don't allow the mind to trick you. Don't allow the mind games to take over. Keep your balance here. Focus your attention on yourself, Leo, and you can change your world. Okay, so I hope that has been of some help for you here, Leo. I am going to leave it there and say thank you very much for watching. I hope it has helped you somehow. If you have liked my video, if you've learned anything from it, if it has been of some benefit to you, please could you like it up for me, please. The more thumbs it gets, the more it gets put out into the bigger YouTube world, and more people can get to see it and come back to my channel. And I would like to say thank you very much to those of you who have liked up my videos. I really do appreciate it. It is really helping to grow my channel, which is what I'm really trying to do. So it does help with subscribers as well, because more people can come back to my channel. And also thank you very much to those of you who have recently subscribed to me. Again, I really, really do appreciate it. So I'm slowly moving forward, and it's quite exciting, and it's really, really nice to have everybody along with me on this journey. So thank you very much to those of you who have subscribed or have liked my videos. If you are wanting to subscribe, there is a button on my videos which will allow you to do that, which I think also opens up a bell which you can tap to receive future videos as and when I will be putting them out there. I do all the full moon videos, new moon videos, both the astrology and the tarot, and also all of the actual zodiac signs themselves, and any of the planetary energy when it shifts, any of the big major planets when they move into a different energy. I also do those videos as well. If you feel like this is going to be of benefit to anybody else, also please share it and comment for me as well, because it is really nice to read what people say and get some feedback rather than just sitting here and talking into a camera, and it gives me a connection with what's happening in your world too. So thank you very much once again, and please, Leo, take very good care of yourselves and take good care of anybody else around you at this time that you can, and hopefully I will see you again soon.